tell, then you see the road. I'm out to my soul into the size whenever the smoke clear out of my face and my picture perfect.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to Cypherfics. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the third part of, What If Dannyphantom Meets Five Nights at Freddy's? Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of Phantom Fan 21 on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Anime convention, 2 a.m. Danny waited by the door as the girls kept an eye on Spring Bonnie. However, he was very surprised to learn that the girls were made to kill people before they were reprogrammed to be much different. This villian often sounds like someone that needs to be found and stopped. He heard a knock and opens the door. "Glad you made it," he said before frowning. "Tucker." Danny said, not happy. "Sorry, dude." Tucker sighs, letting him know he wasn't happy about either. "You're not getting out of this, Danny," Sam said, crossing her arms. Danny sighs before letting them in. He lead his friends to the girls, who were surprised to see them. "What's she doing here?" Freddy asked. "I didn't bring her here," Tucker quickly said. However, Sam and Tucker noticed the new girl, who looked damaged and had wires sticking out. "Tucker, do you think you can help Spring Bonnie?" Danny asked. "Spring Bonnie?" Tucker asked. "It's a long story." Danny sighs. "Okay," Tucker said, walking up to her. Hi. I'm Tucker," he said, feeling Chica was watching him. "Nice to meet you," Spring Bonnie said, laying on the table. Tucker watched in surprise as she pressed the button near her melons, and her whole body opened to show part of the endoskeleton in her, though it looked like it was wearing down from age. "Whoa, that's some old-school tech," Tucker said, noticing a few things that were different. "I was given upgrades every now and then," Spring Bonnie told him. Tucker carefully looked over and notices something. "What's that?" he asked, pointing to what looked like a balloon. Spring Bonnie tried her best to look and was able to see it. I forget what it was called, but it was added to keep my insides from messing up. Every now and then it gets removed and replaced," she said. "For what?" Tucker asked. "In case I have SEC, Spring Bonnie said, shrugging. "What?" Tucker shouted as Sam stood shocked. Wait. What do you mean when you have SEC? Sam asked. Spring Bonnie opens her mouth to repeat her story, only for Danny to step in. "Let's focus on the main thing," he said, not really wanting them to know yet. "Okay," Tucker said, confused. With a bit of help from Spring Bonnie, Tucker found a port he could plug his PDA into. He looks over the coding and was surprised. "Wow! This stuff is way behind the times," he said, reading the code. "Well, I am the first anime girl animatronic," Spring Bonnie told him. "Huh?" Tucker asked, confused. "I'm the first Bonnie," she explains. Sam blinks before turning to the blue anime rabbit girl. "It's true," she said, nodding. Tucker heard his PDA beep and quickly looked at it. "Wow, this is really old code. Almost as old as you are," Tucker said, before flinching. No offense," he quickly told her. "None taken," she said, smiling. "So, can you fix that glitch?" Tucker asked. "Yeah, just need to replace the old code with a new one, change this, that, and done," he said before unplugging his PDA. Spring Bonnie suddenly went still before speaking in a monotone voice. "Coding accepted. Preparing for an upgrade. Resetting Bonnie Unit 001. She said, going quiet. Everyone waited until Spring Bonnie spoke up again. Upgrade compete. Spring Bonnie blinks before looking around. She lay her eyes on Danny and smiles. I think it worked. She said, closing her body. Are you sure? Danny asked. We'll know for sure when next month rolls around. She said, smiling. Danny sighs, seeing her point. What about next month? Sam asked, raising an eyebrow. She had a coating that made her crave sec like a corny rabbit, Tucker blushed. She what? Sam shouted. Danny didn't bother as he turned to Freddy. Are you ready? He asked. Freddy nods as Spring Bonnie got off the table. Danny. Sam said, growling. She already apologizes and felt bad about it, Danny told her. Sam glares as Tucker was surprised by another coating. What is this? He asked. From what Spring Bonnie told us, it's our killer code, Freddy said. Killer code? Tucker asked. It turns out that the girls were meant to kill other people thanks to their creator. I don't know why, but I want Tucker to make sure that code is fully removed from all the girls. Even Chica. Danny said. They were going to, Sam asked, shocked. Look, this isn't the time. Tuck, can you? Danny cut her off. Sure, Tucker said, seeing Freddy doing the same as Spring Bonnie. 3 a.m. Tucker sighs as Chica closes her body. Though the animatronic still didn't forgive him for what he did, she knew that he was the best choice to make sure she wouldn't suddenly turn on anyone because of that code. She gave a nod and a friendly smile, letting Tucker know she was pleased with his help. Meanwhile, Sam was trying for the past hour to get Danny to explain what was going on and Freddy was getting sick of it. She reached over and grabbed Sam's arm, pulling her away from Danny. Sam. If Danny agrees to keep our reason a secret, then respect it. You can't force him to tell you. She said. He said he'll tell us. Sam argued. And we asked him not to. Freddy argued back. Why are you keeping it a secret? Sam yelled. Because we want to be human. Freddy yelled back. What? Tucker asked, confused. Freddy sighs, knowing this wasn't going anywhere. Fine, you want to know so bad. Here's our story. Before we learned that we were meant to be killers, a man that was wearing nothing but watching on his arm, told us that in order to become human we need to have night guard stay here for 5 days, and then win his heart. He also has owned the convention, which would stop others from trying to take us, I believe. We couldn't tell anyone else and we asked Danny not to tell anyone because we wished it. Freddy said, frowning. That's the most ridiculous thing I heard. Sam shouted, not believing her. It's true. I may look close to a human, but I want to be a real one. BB shouted, not liking Sam at all. It may sound unbelievable, but Danny isn't bothered by it, Marionette added. But you all are animatronics. Machines. How are you being human? Sam asked, still not believing them. Because there are forces beyond your control, Spring Bonnie said, making everyone turn to her. What do you mean? Danny asked. Well, I do recall something about that man that reprogrammed the girls. These 2 clock hours appear out of thin air before opening a strange portal. Then that man steps out and undoes William's coding. He says a few words and leaves the same way he entered. Like he was never there. She said, smiling. That doesn't sound possible, Sam said. I'm with Sam on this one, Tucker said. It's what I saw. I have it stored in my memory banks. Spring Bonnie said, pointing to her head. Danny sighs before looking at the clock. It was still in the early morning, but he might as well send Tucker and Sam home and figure out what to do with Spring Bonnie. Look, Tuck, Sam. I think you guys needed to head home. The convention is going to open in a few hours, and it will be a bad idea if Henry finds you here. He told them. What? Sam asked. He has a point, Sam. Besides, he asked me for help. You had to be one sneaking around the convention. Tucker pointed out. You what? Freddy shouted, growling. Sam, that trespassing is something I can't ignore. Danny said, glaring at her. Sam opens her mouth, but Freddy quickly covers it with her hand. Oh, no. You are not going to weasel your way out of this one. You're the one that was sneaking around. It's time you understand what your actions bring you. She said. Just because your parents don't like me, Sam, doesn't mean they will agree with this kind of action, Danny said, pulling out his cell phone. Can you girls clean up the convention? And maybe find some place for Spring Bonnie to hide? Danny asked the girls. We're on it. Foxy said, rushing to do her part of the job. What about her? Mangle asked. I'll deal with Sam, Danny said before turning to Tucker. You better get going, Tuck. And thanks for the help. He said to him. Any time, dude, Tucker said, turning to leave. Tucker. The dark-skinned boy stopped when he notices Chica walking up to him, her arms crossed in front of her melons and a frown on her face. Why yes? Tucker asked, a bit scared. I still don't forgive you for what you did. But, Chica said, before giving a small smile. Thank you for fixing us. She told him. Sure. Tucker said, surprised. Now, go home, and don't tell anyone about this. She said, walking away. Tucker nods and soon leaves, feeling a bit better. Danny notices and smiles. It was a start. Casper High, 11 a.m. Danny sighs as Sam glares at him. He called her parents last night and they took her back, grounding her for being near the convention and being near him. Henry also learned what happened with Sam and stated Danny was doing a good job. He got his paycheck, which was just over $200. Danny could hardly believe he was getting paid so much money. He spent his days off looking for a house he could get when he turned 18. He was able to find some with some help of his parents and sister. Danny did find a house that was close to the convention, meaning it won't take him 30 minutes to walk to work. Or have Jazz drive him. Sam, you need to respect other wishes, Danny said. SMA said nothing, just glaring at him. She's been like this all weekend, Danny. Might as well tell her. Tucker said, sighing. Not in school. What Spring Bonnie did is not something I can talk about with so many people listening. Even Dash. Danny pointed out, groaning. Sam still said nothing and Danny groaned. Sam, give it up. No matter what I said, you won't believe me. And if this has anything to do with your feelings for me, then don't bother. Danny said, surprising her. What? She asked. I came clean about my feelings last year and you still deny them. Did you even stop to think that I might have decided to move on? Danny told her. Move on? Sam asked, shocked. Tucker already knows, but I asked him not to tell you. Just like how the girls asked me not to tell anyone about them. Remember all the times I asked you not to tell anyone about the things I asked? Danny pointed out. That's different. Sam said, still surprised about his words. No, it's not. The girls are my friends, and if your friends want something to be kept secret, then you should respect it. Danny told her. Friends? Sam asked, shocked. Look, we can talk about it later. Let's get school over with before Dash starts eavesdropping on us. Danny said, ending it there. Sam wanted to say something, but Danny returned the glare she had been giving him, forcing her to stay quiet. Dash was walking by glaring at Danny, who just ignored him. Danny knew these next 5 nights were going to be different. Anime convention, midnight. Danny got a call from Henry saying he was leaving early for a family matter but left the door unlocked for him to get in for his shift. Once Danny was inside, he was surprised when Freddy was waiting for him, once more throwing herself on him. "Freddy," Danny said, falling to the ground. "We heard that Henry was leaving early. It gave us lots of time to help Spring Bonnie fit in," Freddy said. "And how is she doing?" Danny asked. "I'm doing fine, though I'm stuck hiding in the closet all day." Danny notices the anime girl walking up, giving a smile. "And we let the past be bygones," Freddy added, letting him up. "So, you forgave her?" Danny asked. "Not fully." Spring Bonnie sighs. "She keeps mentioning that I remind her too much of Fred Bear," Freddy pointed out. Danny sighs. If he was separated from his sister or friend for years, then he'll feel sad that someone reminds him too of them. If only he knew how to help her. "I'm going to change, and Spring Bonnie, please don't follow me inside," Danny said, making the withered anime girl sigh. "Okay, and I heard that BB might try the same thing," she warned him. "Thanks," Danny said, heading to the changing room. Spring Bonnie sighs, still feeling upset about what she did a few nights ago. Freddy notices and sighs. "Spring, I told you he's okay with you know. You explain your reason and he forgives you," she said. "He did, but what about the other one? When I was set down, I never saw that face again. But now, I keep seeing it. Danny forgave me, but I never forgive myself," she said, sitting down. Freddy sighs. She knew that Spring Bonnie still hasn't forgiven herself for what she did during her time at the dinner. If only they could find out what happened to that boy. Which Freddy had no doubt was a full-grown man by now. Danny soon returns with BB pouting. "Come on. Please." She whines. "No, BB. It was bad enough that you had to walk into my office naked, but I'm not going to do what Spring Bonnie did because of a glitch she had," Danny told the human animatronic. "What about Freddy?" BB asked. "Unlike you, BB, I would like to wait until much later. Just because I have it bad, doesn't mean I'm going to force myself on him. I don't want to hurt him." Freddy spoke up. "Bad?" Danny asked, surprised. Spring Bonnie, and BB are not the only ones that want to have SEC with you. But, unlike them, I can wait," Freddy said, blushing. Danny sighs, glad that Freddy was trying to hold back. He notices Spring Bonnie looking sad and walked up to her. "You okay, Spring Bonnie?" he asked. "I'm fine," she said, giving a smile. Danny knew something was bugging her and wanted to help, but he was on the clock. He should check the cameras then make his rounds. "Hey, Spring Bonnie, I'm going to make my rounds later, do you want to join?" Danny asked her. Sure," she said, surprised. "Don't worry, Spring Bonbon. Danny's a really great person to talk to." BB smiles. Danny rolled his eyes before heading to his office. Spring Bonnie smiled fade as she remembered two things that her memory banks will never make her forget. 1 a.m. Danny was making his round as Spring Bonnie walked next to him. "Listen, Danny. I know I said this many times, but I'm really sorry about what I did," she started. "Spring Bonnie, I forgave you already. You don't have to keep apologizing," Danny told her. I know. But since your friend fixed me, I can't stop feeling bad about it," Spring Bonnie said. "Don't we have to wait until next month to see if you're fixed?" Danny asked. "Well, I'm not craving SEC as much as I thought I would, but," she said, only for Danny to stop her. "Keep apologizing, and I'll lock you back in the closet for the rest of the night," Danny told her. Spring Bonnie looked shocked before sighing. The others were right about him. He really was kind and understanding. "Was it true that Freddy scared you on your first day?" she asked. "I wasn't expecting her to turn and talk when I found her," Danny said, sighing. I bet if you met Fred Bear, you'll act the same, Spring Bonnie said. Fred Bear, your sister, right? Danny asked. Yep. We were a team on stage. Our singing was nothing like anyone heard of. At that time, anyways. Spring Bonnie said. Really? What was Fred Bear like? Danny asked. She was the kindest and sweetest friend you could ask for. Whenever a show looked like it was going to end badly, she would still smile and keep the kids happy. We were known as the Golden Girls during the time. Spring Bonnie smiles before it fades. That was before the thing I did with the kid. She said, looking away. Do you remember anything about the kid? Danny asked. Not completely. His face had blurred out due to the number of times I tried to erase it. I don't even remember his name. Spring Bonnie said, sighing. Danny frowns, sounds like something he needs to look up. He only went as far back as Tucker couldn't stop touching Chica. Maybe he could find something that could help her. I have to admit, I can see why Freddy and BB find you cute. She added, smiling. Please don't tell me that you want to have a CC again, Danny said, sighing. No, no. As I said, I'm fine, until next month. Spring Bonnie told him before sighing again. You would have loved Fred Bear. She was just as kind and caring as you. When she learned of what happened between me and the kid, she was there to comfort me. She was never mad at me, even when I messed up. She was there for me. She said. I kind of know how you feel, Danny said, making Spring Bonnie look at him. I have a sister too. She's pretty on her own, but she does come by for a visit. I could always count on her when we were younger, he said, smiling. Spring Bonnie smiles before hugging him. Danny blinks, surprised. If it's already with you, can I give you a kiss? She asked, making him sigh. Sure. He said, knowing she was in control of herself this time. Spring Bonnie smiles before reaching up to kiss him. Danny sighs as he knew the next few nights were going to be different. But first to find the boy that she accidentally scared away. Amity Park, 4 p.m. Danny sighs as he steps up to the door that was the home of the man that was raped by Spring Bonnie as a kid. He wasn't sure if he would remember it or would want to. Taking a breath, he rings the doorbell and wanted. The door opens to show a man in his late 30s looking at him. Can I help you? He asked. Yes, my name is dannyphantom, I work as the night guard at Freddy's Fazbear Anime Convention, Danny said, hoping this wasn't going to be thrown in his face. Another new night guard? He asked, not surprised. I've been working there for over 2 weeks, Danny told him. What? The man said, surprised. Who is it, Michael? Danny blinks when a woman walks up, strangely reminding him of Marionette. The new night guard at the convention. He's been there for over 2 weeks. Michael said. Really? I thought they gave up on hiring night guards. The woman said before looking at Danny. Nice to meet you, I'm Charlotte, but please call me Charlie. And this is my husband, Michael. She said, shaking his hand. I'm Danny. I was actually hoping I could talk about something that happened to Michael during his childhood. Danny said, shaking her hand. Both adults looked confused. Before Danny sighs. I was looking up the history of Freddy Fazbear and learned about the dinner and the event that happened with you, Danny said, looking away. I have no idea what you're talking about, Michael said. Isn't your name Michael Afton? Danny asked, surprising him. I don't go by that name anymore, Michael said, angry. Michael, calm down, Charlie said, worried. Look, I'm sorry if it brings up any bad memories, but, Danny started. I don't know what you're talking about. Michael said, turning away. She raped me too. Michael stops, surprised. What? He asked, looking back. The Bonnie that raped you as a kid? She raped me a few days ago. Danny said. Michael sighs before turning away. My father was a fool to making them lifelike. Did he not see the mistake he made when he built those two? He said, sighing. Michael, Charlie said, sighing. Look, Danny, do me a favor and quiet. If those animatronics were made by my dad, then you'll be better off with them. He said, walking away. Charlie sighs before turning to Danny. I'm sorry. She said, closing the door. Danny sighs. He knew this could go either way. She feels bad about it. Guilty even. Danny said, walking away. Not knowing that Michael heard him inside. Anime convention, midnight. Danny sat in his office, the visit still in his mind. Hey, BF. BB walked in holding a few balloons when she notices how down he was looking when he walked in. Danny didn't even turn to her, confusing her. I'm naked again. She said, but Danny didn't move. BB frowns before getting an idea. She sat on Danny's lap and pushed her melons in his face. BB, I'm not in the mood, Danny said, pushing her off. But that frown doesn't suit you. BB said, trying to keep her smile. I found the guy that Spring Bonnie raped as a kid, Danny said, surprising her. You did? That's great. BB smiles. He's the son of your creator. He told her. Oh. BB said, a little shocked. However, he's nothing like his father. He refused to talk about what happened between him and Spring Bonnie. Strangely enough, his wife, Charlie, reminds me of Marionette. Danny said. Why did you seek him out? BB asked. I wanted to help Spring Bonnie feel better. I didn't say anything about your girls being alive. I did mention that Spring Bonnie felt guilty about it. But I don't think it's going to work. Danny sighs. BB places it together and smiles. That's very nice of you, BF. She said, knowing he was trying to help Spring Bonnie. But I couldn't get him to forgive himself. I tried to tell him that Spring Bonnie felt bad about it, but he seems to refuse to accept it. Danny sighs. So, are you going to tell Spring Bonnie? BB asked. He just did. Both Danny and BB saw Spring Bonnie dropping from the vent with a smile on her face. I heard everything. Thank you, Danny. She said, walking up and hugging him. Danny smiles, glad that Spring Bonnie understood what he was trying to do. Suddenly, Mangle came running into the office. Mangle? What's wrong? Danny asked as Spring Bonnie let go. There's someone, knocking at the door. She said, a bit scared. At this time? Danny asked, turning to the tablet and looking at the outside cameras. Danny blinks when he saw who it was. Charlie. He said, causing the other three to look over his shoulder. Wow. She does look like Marionette. Like if she was a human, instead of a puppet. BB said, surprised. I better see what she wants. You girls better get back into your places. Danny told them. The girls nodded as Danny headed for the door. Danny looks to see that Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica got back in their places before remaining still. He spotted the others heading for their place before noticing that Marionette was above him. Danny sighs and opens the door. So, you do work here, Charlie said, surprised. Yeah. Can I help you? Danny asked. I wish to apologize for my husband's actions today. I have tried to get him to talk about what happened to him all those years ago, but he's blocking them from his memory. She said. It was my fault for being it up. I thought I let him know that he wasn't alone. Only thing is, I forgave her after she explains herself. Danny said. You know she's alive? Charlie asked. Yeah, she seeked me out because of the glitch she had. It's fixed now. At least, that's what I was told. Danny said. Charlie sighs. If he knew one of the was alive, then there was no point in hiding anymore. I guess I can tell my full name. I might be married into the Afton family, but my last name is really Emily. She said. Emily? As in Henry Emily? Danny asked, shocked. Yes. My father. Charlie said. Wait, your father? Danny asked, surprised. Yes, and you can tell your friend she can come out now, Charlie said, smiling. Danny said before Marionette drops down. Wow, BB's right. You do look like a human version of me. She said, looking at Charlie. Marionette. I'm glad to see that you're finally made. She said, smiling. We know each other? Marionette asked, confused. I'm the one that thought of you. I made you in my image because I thought it would fit. I once dressed as you during Halloween. Charlie smiles, stepping up. I always thought of you as my other half. The fun-loving, present-given girl that makes everyone happy. She added. Marionette looked surprised before smiling. I guess that means we sisters. She said. Yes, it does. Charlie giggles. Danny turned to see the other girls walking up, knowing that she was aware. However, Spring Bonnie was behind the crowd. She heard that this woman was the wife of the boy she raped, but Charlie spotted her. Bonnie. The old anime animatronic flinches as she steps forward. It better to call her Spring Bonnie, Danny said, knowing that Bonnie was confused as well. Charlie nods as Spring Bonnie stops in front of her. She looks into her eyes before Charlie hugged her. I forgive you. She said, surprising her. Why you do? She asked. Yes, I heard you talking to Fred Bear during one of your breaks. I heard how hurt and upset you were after Michael ran away. I was made that one of the animatronics that my dad helped made would do a thing to my best friend, but I remember that you were made as human as possible. I heard how bad you felt and upset you were. I was mad, but I already forgive you long ago. Charlie said. Wait, were you a kid at the time? Danny asked, remembering Spring Bonnie's story. Let's say my dad had me learn the important things at a younger age than most people, Charlie said, blushing. Danny blinks before blushing as well. But he never forgave me, Spring Bonnie said, sadly. Michael may not talk about it, but I could see that even he feels bad. You're his favorite anime animatronic. Charlie told her. Spring Bonnie turns away, biting her bottom lip. The image in her memory bank started to clear up, showing a happy-looking child that just got down with hugging her. No matter what happens, you'll always be my favorite, Bon Bon. Am I? She asked. You are. He still remembers the fun times he had when we came to the dinner. He always was happy to see you and never stopped mention how excited he was after spending the day with you. You helped him a lot in his life. Charlie smiles. I could talk to him, let him know that I'm sorry, Spring Bonnie said. Here's your chance. Everyone turns and saw Michael standing by the doors, surprising everyone. Michael? Charlie asked, surprised. I've been giving it some thought, and I decided that enough was enough. He said, walking up to them. Michael, Spring Bonnie said, looking down. Michael sighs. He truly had forgotten that she was as human as possible, his father upgraded her to make her more human. He shouldn't have let one event force him to remain away for so long. Bon Bon, I know we have a lot to take about. But I just wanted to let you know I never shut you out of my life. He said, making her look up. You haven't? She asked. Never did, never will. Yes, I was scared, I was only 10 at the time, but I couldn't forget the fun times I had with you. All the birthdays I was part of, even my own 10th birthday was the best I could ask for. He said, smiling a little. But that's when I RPE you. Spring Bonnie pointed out. Yes, that's when you raped me. But after hearing you and Charlie talk and how you truly felt that day, I think we could work on repairing our friendship. Maybe even getting you fixed up. Michael said. Spring Bonnie smiles a little. She nods before she and Michael headed for a table to talk. Charlie smiles and turns to Danny. Mind if we stay here for a bit? She asked. I guess so, but I won't tell Henry about this. Danny sighs. Huh, my father. But, she started before BB jumps in front of her. It's nice to meet you, human marionette. I'm Balloon Babe. But you can call me BB. She said before Marionette pulls her away. Sorry about her. BB gets overexcited at times. She said, hearing BB whine. I see, Charlie said, calming down. What to head somewhere else? I never thought that you'll be the one to think of me. Marionette asked. Sure. Michael might be here for a while. Charlie smiles as Marionette leads her to the gift area. Danny sighs as Freddy pats his shoulder. Looks like things work out after all, she said, smiling. Anime convention, midnight. Danny was glad to see that Michael and Spring Bonnie make up after what happened between them. He even saw Challer and Marionette get along well. Last night was something he never thought would happen. Still, he had to keep Henry in the dark about his late-night visitors. He was returning tonight to check on girls, hoping that nothing would happen. It didn't take him long to be tackled by Freddy the minute he walked in the door. Welcome back, Danny. She said, kissing his cheek. Freddy. Air. Danny wheezed, feeling the breath getting squeezed out of him. Freddy loosened her grip but didn't let go of Danny. She quickly looked around before starting to pull Danny. Freddy? Danny asked, confused. Get with me. Before Spring Bonnie and BB find you. She said, confusing him. Danny followed Freddy until she reached a door he didn't notice before. Freddy shvees him inside before checking the area again. Seeing no one, she slips in and locks the door. Freddy? Danny asked. Freddy then turns and walks up to him with a flirtatious look and swings her peach. Danny blinks, wondering if Freddy needed something bad. The girls did warn him that Freddy wanted something from him and she was starting to get a little antsy. Are you okay? He asked her, worried. Freddy wrapped her body around his, holding him close. I'm fine. Now that no one will take you from me. She said before kissing him. Danny let her before feeling something rubbing him. Freddy broke the kiss, looking like she wanted more. Freddy? Danny asked, seeing the anime bear girl sighing. I really need this. I know I'm not human yet, but I need to do this. She said, putting one of her hands in Danny's pants. Freddy? Danny blushed before Freddy pulled out his PP. I'm sorry. I might not have what Spring Bonnie does, but I can help another way. She said, jerking it. Danny groaned, getting harder as she did so. Freddy then looks down and smiles. So, this is what Spring Bonnie had in her. She said, getting to her knees. Freddy? Are you going to? Danny started. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of other girls taking you. I want this, please. She said, still jerking his PP. Danny could only groan before Freddy kissed the tip. She then kissed the whole thing before giving it a little lick. Danny was surprised to see she had a tongue, but before he could think on it more, she wrapped her mouth around it, catching him off guard. Danny was surprised. Much like Spring Bonnie's PP, Freddy's mouth felt real, almost as if she wasn't an animatronic. She pushes herself as deep as she can go, taking him ball deep. She soon started to move in and out, giving him a BLW job. Danny did his best not to out loud, but Freddy felt so good. She soon gave in and grabs Freddy's head before thrusting into her mouth. Freddy feeling Danny shvee his PP down her throat. She knew it would cause some trouble for her voice box, but she didn't care. She wanted this so bad. Danny kept thrusting until he came into her mouth. Freddy shallow as much as she could, feeling some juice leak out. She knew her inside would be messed up until repair day, but, again, she didn't care. She wanted this and she was going to have it. Danny finally stopped and pulled away. He panted before Freddy hugged him again. "Thank you. It's not what I hoped for, but it will have to do," she said, rubbing her pee-pee against his still hard pee-pee. "Freddy. Why didn't you just ask me?" Danny said, panting. "Because you would try to back out. I waited patiently, but a girl has her limits. I'm sorry if this was out of the blue, but I couldn't wait anymore," Freddy said, feeling Danny's pee-pee twitch. "Freddy," Danny tried to say, only for Freddy to pull him closer. "I can't wait for the day I become human. I really like you, Danny. I still haven't forgotten what you did for Spring Bonnie. And how Marionette was so happy talking to her real creator. You're everything I hoped for," she said, thinking he was about to leak again. "I just wanted to help. I'm not going to treat any of you as something you're not," Danny said, making her smile. Freddy then goes back to her knees, placing his pee-pee in between her melons, and rubs them. Danny came again, shooting his juices into the air and landing on Freddy's melons. "Do you think you can do that for an hour?" she asked, surprising him. Freddy smiles, ready for more. Danny sighs as he prepares to F Freddy for an hour. 1 a.m. Danny made it to his office after Freddy was done. He gave the poor girl a juice bath due to how badly she wanted him. He ran into Foxy, who was looking for him. Blushing, Danny informed her where Freddy was and asked not to tell anyone. Foxy smirks and nods. Now Danny was sitting in his chair, trying to keep his mind full of clean thoughts. "Hello, BF." Danny turns and saw BB walking into his office. She has been trying for the past week to walk into his office naked, but the girls got her to stop. "BB? What brings you here?" Danny asked. The human-like animatronic walked up to him before sitting on his lap. "You disappear after you came in. We were getting worried," she said, smiling. "Freddy kept me busy," Danny said, noticing that BB was making him look down her melons. "Oh. Did she do it?" BB asked. Danny said, blushing. "Freddy mentioned about doing it with you for a while now. We didn't know that she was going to do it tonight," BB said, leaning on his chest. "As she did?" Danny blushed. "Yeah, sorry we weren't there to stop her," BB said, leaning closer to his face. Danny blinks. He could read BB's body language and could tell she wanted to do the same. In fact, she was rubbing his pee-pee as she was talking. "BB. Please tell me that you're joking," Danny asked, hoping it was. "Sorry, BF, but we all want to, as you say, F you. Some of us can't wait any longer," she said, kissing him. Danny couldn't believe what he was hearing. They all wanted to have SEC with him before they become fully human. Did something happen to them after Tucker fixed their programming? BB broke the kiss before sighing. She did want to have CC with him. But she did remember what Marionette told her. Maybe it was time for something new. BB got off him before pulling Danny out of his office. "BB?" Danny asked, confused. "We all want to have CC with you. Me, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Marionette, and even Mangle," she told him. "What?" "But Marionette said she wouldn't rush," Danny said, surprised. "She agreed to make sure you were comfortable with it first. We are a little surprised Mangle would agree to it, though," BB said before looking back at Danny. "Truth be told, I want first dips after Freddy. After all, I'm more human-like than the others," she said, talking him into her room. Danny blinks when he saw party balloons everywhere. He notices a few invites on a table as well as a half-eaten piece of cake. However, he was surprised to see a twin-size bed near a wall. "How did you get that?" he asked. "Michael and Charlie brought it over. They did so after everyone left but before you came in," she said, pushing him onto the bed. "BB," Danny gulps, seeing the animatronic girl grabbing her strppdbr before pulling it off. Danny blushed, seeing that her melons were slightly smaller than Chica's. BB then pulled off her skirt, surprising Danny with something he didn't think she'll have. "Like it?" "It turned out I was giving one like spring bonbon," she asked, smirking. "BB, why?" Danny asked, wishing he had more time to clear his head. "Because I love you," she said, sitting on him. Danny could barely think. He could barely control himself. Freddy's invitation was still fresh in his mind. The minute BB started to rub his hidden PP, he gave in. He pulled BB into a kiss, grabbing her BRST as he did so. For the next few minutes, Danny made out with BB before finally pulling out his PP, and got ready to put it inside her. BBMM as Danny pushes it in. She didn't have the same balloon as Spring Bonnie did, but she was finally doing it. And this time, none of the girls are stopping her. 2 p.m. Danny panted as he came again as BB rode him. Much like Freddy, BB was covered in his juices, but to a less degree than Freddy. BB panted before landing down on him. "You feel so amazing. If the others didn't want you as bad, I would have F you all night," she said, knowing the other girls were waiting. "Sorry, BB. But we can't let you and Freddy have all the fun." Danny looks up to see Bonnie, Chica, Marionette, and Mangle close by. Marionette also had her clothes off, showing she was fully white without them. She even undid her ponytail. "Girls?" he asked before BB got off him. Bonnie got on him next, ready to have the same bath as her friend. "We're sorry, but we waited long enough," Bonnie said, pulling him into a kiss. Danny could only MMM as each girl took turns with him for the night. Danny jumps as he wakes up. He looks around and saw that he was in his office with Freddy next to him, looking worried. "You passed out as soon as sat down and couldn't stop MMM for some reason," she said, confusing him. "Was that all a dream? How long was I out?" Danny asked. "Almost 3 hours. Did you not get any sleep before coming in?" Freddy told him. No. I had a lot of homework to do. By the time I was done, it was time for me to head off to work," Danny said, blushing. Danny wasn't sure if what he dreamed was real or not. Did he really want to give in that badly? He saw Freddy place a plate of pizza before she smiled. "Well, I'm glad that you're okay. Chica had a feeling that you were getting hungry," she said, kissing his cheek. "I'll thank her later," Danny said, getting ready to eat it. Freddy nods and left the office. She soon reunited with the others, who were very worried. "Does he know?" Mangle asked. "No. He thinks it's a dream." Freddy sighs, not believing they all gave in. "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Mangle asked, feeling bad about what happened. "It better to let him think of it as a dream," Marionette said, not happy. "I can't believe we did that. I thought we could wait." Chica groans. "To think we all did that. Even you and Mangle, Marionette," Bonnie said. Marionette frowns harder as Mangle looked guilty. "Arg, what happened has happened. We can't be crying over spilled milk," Foxy said, feeling bad. "I'm going to the kitchen," Chica said, walking away with her head down. "I'm going to me cove," Foxy added. "Me too," Mangle said, crying if she could. "I got a few songs to work on," Bonnie said, walking away. "I got to charge," Marionette said, walking away. Freddy signs, knowing they all feel bad about it. She then turned to BB, who was still lost in thought. Do you think it would want to do it again? She asked. BB. Freddy growls, making her jump back. I jest. She said, holding up her hands. Freddy sighs, looking back at the office. After getting herself back in order and cleaning up, she discovers that the girls also started having SEC with him. Except for Spring Bonnie, who helped her clean BB's room. Freddy really hopes this doesn't happen again. Charlie sat by her father's bedside, holding the old man's hand. Henry turns to his only daughter and smiles. Charlotte. He said, weakly. Dad, it's Charlie. She smiles. I fear my time is coming. William is going to take over the business. Henry said. But, you both had a falling out after what happened to Michelle, Charlie said. I know, but my old friend had forgotten the agreement we set abound when we took the dinner. All of the Fredbear ideas belong to our firstborns. Henry said. Henry smiles again, seeing the wedding ring on her finger. You have done a lot to help Michelle. I know one day he'll forgive her. He said. He still refuses to talk about it. Even after marrying me. Charlie said. He'll get around. Bonnie misses him. Henry said before leading back. I don't have much time. It's a shame your mother couldn't be here with us. Henry said. Dad, you never treated her like your wife, Charlie said. I meant your real mother, Charlotte. Rest her soul. Henry said, laughing a bit. Charlie frowns before looking away. However, her eyes lay on something she didn't think she'll see. Dad? What is this? She asked, picking up a drawing she made when she was 5. It was a drawing of her and another girl, dressed in all black with white hair that looked just like her. I never disagreed with your idea. William just failed to understand that. Henry said, knowing that his friend lied to her. Marry on, Charlie said, smiling. I still remember the time you dressed just like her for Halloween. Henry smiles. I was 15. Charlie blushed. It was 3 years ago. Henry laughs before coughing. Charlie, can I trust you to watch over the dinner for me? He asked. Dad, Charlie started. And please, watch over Fredbear. He asked. Charlie sighs, knowing how much he cares about her. Henry seemed to know what she was thinking due to his smile. I care about you both. She's just as human as you. He said. Today. Charlie opens the closet, seeing an old golden anime bear girl laying in it. Since Spring Bonnie had returned, she thought it was time to wake up her father's old friend. Rise and shine, Fredbear. She said, turning her on. Fredbear powered up, blinking as she noticed that she had finally woken up after being shut down. She looks up before seeing a woman in front of her. He quickly realizes who she was. Charlie? She asked, surprised. Sorry for taking so long to wake you up. She said, reaching a hand out. Fredbear took it and was helped to her feet. Why do I feel so stiff? Fredbear asks, feeling her joints creak. You've been asleep for 20 years. It's been 10 years since my father passed away. Charlie said. 20 years. Fredbear shouted before catching the other thing she said. Wait, Henry's gone. She said, looking down. I'm sorry for taking so long. I was afraid of what you might do if you found out. Charlie said. Fredbear looks at her before giving a small smile. It's okay. I have all the times with him stored in my memory banks. I'll never forget him. She said, stepping out of the closet. Where's Bonbon? Fredbear said, looking for her sister. She at the Fredbear anime convention, Charlie said. Convention? What happened to the dinner? Fredbear asked. It was torn down and replaced with the convention. Under my father's name. Charlie said. Fredbear blinks. Has so much changed in the past 20 years? Is Bonnie okay? Fredbear asked. She goes by Spring Bonnie now. And yes, the night guard is taking kind of her and the others. Charlie said. Others? Fredbear asked, confused. Anime convention, midnight. Danny made it to work after looking for a house that was close enough. His birthday was in a few weeks, and he was able to find one. However, he had to wait until his next paycheck and did take the risk of asking for raise. Luckily, Henry understood his reason and agreed to pay him $300 for his paycheck. It was better than nothing, but Danny did hold on to his other 2 checks. Danny. He stops as he saw Charlie pulled up. Charlie. Danny said, surprised to see her. Sorry for showing up so late. I needed to see you. She said, getting out of the car. Sure. Do you want to talk to Marianne again? Danny asked. No, I have someone that Spring Bonnie would love to see, Charlie said, turning to the car. Is that, Danny asked, seeing someone stepping out of the car. Charlie nodded as Danny looked at Fredbear. So, you're the night guard? She asked. Yeah, dannyphantom. He said, surprised. How did you? He asked. I kept her after my father passed away, Charlie said. Hold up. Your father passed away. But then who hired me? Who's paying me? Danny asked. I don't know. But whoever it is, I know it's not Michelle's father. He would never pay anyone after my father's passing. Charlie said. What about the code? Danny asked, knowing that she was aware of the killer code her father-in-law put in. She was made before William went nuts. So no code. She said, making him sigh in relief. Charlie has been telling you have been taking care of my sister. As well as my successor. Fredbear said. Short of, Danny said, looking away. You'll find out when you're inside, Danny said, sighing. Trust me, Fredbear, it better for you to see it yourself, Charlie said, patting her shoulder. Do you want to get in? Marianne said that she loves to talk with you again. Danny asked Charlie. No, but tell I say we'll talk another time, Charlie said, getting back in the car. Danny watches her drive off, giving a wave as she did. Danny was still lost on the fact that Henry Emily, his boss, was dead. It didn't make sense. Shall we go? Fredbear asked. Right. Just be ready for Freddy. She likes to surprise me. Danny warned her. Danny headed inside with Fredbear following him. She was surprised to see that her successor jumped on Danny, trying to smooth him with her body. Freddy. He shouted as the anime girl kissed him. Welcome home. She said. Freddy, please. I need to get into my outfit. Danny told her. All laid out for you. Mangle clean it for you. Freddy said. Good. Oh, where's Spring Bonnie? I have someone she should meet. Danny asked. Freddy blinks before seeing Fredbear. Wait, are you, she said, her eyes widening. I'm Fredbear. The first Freddy as you can guess. She said. You're Fredbear my processor? Freddy asked. Shocked. Fredbear nods causing her to suddenly shut down. Danny blinks, surprised. I guess her system's overheated, Danny said, knowing she was in shock. Charlie told me what she has been doing. Once she reboots, I'll let her know how I feel. Fredbear said. I better get ready. Do you mind waiting in my office? Danny asked. Sure. I would love to surprise my sister. Fredbear smiles. Just don't be seen. He said. A few minutes later. Everyone stood at Danny's office, all of them wondering what was going on. Freddy had rebooted but was still in shock. "Freddy? Are you okay?" Chica asked, worried about her friend. "She's been like this since Danny showed up," Bonnie said. Danny soon exited his office, sighing. "Alright goods, I have some good news and bad news," Danny said, surprising them. Oh. Start with the good news," BB said, jumping. "Spring Bonnie. I have some I like you to meet," Danny said, opening the door. "Freddy?" Spring Bonnie said, completely shocked. "Hello, Bonnie," Fred Bear said. Spring Bonnie ran towards her surprise, hugging her, and had tears that surprised Danny. The two old animatics hugged as the other awed. "So, what's the bad news?" Foxy asked. "Girls, Charlie has informed me that Henry Emily has been dead this whole time," Danny said, sighing. "What?" they all shouted. "But if Henry's dead, then who?" Mangle asked. "I don't know," Danny said, looking off to the side. Danny could hardly believe it. His boss, Henry Emily, has been dead for 10 years. So if Henry is dead, who hired him? Who paying him? Sadly, he had to hold that off for now. Today was his birthday. His parents were throwing one last party for him before moving out. However, Sam was still in trouble with her parents and she couldn't make the party. Tucker was sadly sick. Since Danny had finally found a house, he was given a day off to pack up and moved. "I still can't believe it. Both of my babies have moved out," Maddie said. "Mom, please. I'll come by and visit." Danny sighs, putting in the last box in his car. "I still can't believe you're working there," Maddie said, sighing. "Mom, please," Danny said, knowing that his mother was hoping that he would stop working there after he turned 18. "So where are you living?" Jazz asked. "Just a few houses down from the convention," he said. He had little help with Michelle and Charlie finding a home, fully understanding he needed to move closer to his workplace. However, he has yet to tell them about Henry. Still, he plans to look into who hired him. Danny. Everyone turns and saw Charlie and Michelle walking up. "Michelle? Charlie?" Danny asked. "Happy birthday, Danny," Charlie said, hugging him. "Thanks, but what brings you here?" Danny asked after she broke the hug. "Come to see you and give you our gifts," Charlie said, handing Danny plushes of the girls. Thanks," Danny said, surprised. Challer nods before ribbing her husband. "Here," he said, handing Danny a disc. "What's this?" Danny asked. "The blueprints of the girls. Just in case," he said as Danny took them. "Sure," Danny said, pocketing it. How are you?" Jack asked. "Oh, right. Mom, Dad, Jazz, this is Charlie and her husband Michelle. The children of Henry Emily and William Afton," Danny said. "Wait, did you say, Henry Emily?" Jack asked, surprised. "Yes, my father told me about you, Mr. Fenton," Charlie said. "Please, call me Jack," he said, shaking her hand. "So you know our son?" Maddie asked. "Come up to our door one day, and told us he was working as the night guard at the anime convention," Charlie said. "We decide to check on him once in a while and he's doing a fine job," Michelle added. They knew that Danny hasn't told anyone else about the girls being alive and decided to follow along with it. Charlie then leads closer to Danny, whispering into his ear. "The girls have a surprise party for you. And Freddy wants to give you a big surprise. Just thought I warn you." Danny nods, understanding. "Anyways, I better get to my new house. Bye, Mom, bye, Dad," he said, hugging them. "Bye, son," Jack said as they hugged him back. Later, Jazz. He said, hugging his sister. Later, Danny. She said, hugging back. Are you two coming over tonight? Danny asked, making sure his family did hear him. Yeah, Marionette and Spring Bonnie wanted us to get along. We'll be there when you start work. Charlie whispers. Danny nods, wondering how they would react when they see someone that looks like Henry. Strangely, he hasn't seen him in a while. He left a note, letting him know that the doors were open and he could work his shift. Well, he might as well get ready for his surprise party. Anime convention, midnight. Danny made it after unpacking his things at his new house. He found a note left by Henry, letting him know the doors were unlocked, and wishes him a happy birthday. Danny sighs and steps in. Surprise! He saw the girls pop out of their hiding places as a banner dropped with the words, "Happy Birthday, Night Guard Danny," on it. Danny shook his head as BB walked up to him. Did you like it? She asked, smiling. Yeah, though my birthday is already over, I'm okay with this. He said, looking around. So, where's Freddy? He asked. Waiting for you in your office, Chica said. Danny sighs, knowing that Charlie already warned him. Speaking of which, he spotted Charlie and Marionette talking to each other, enjoying each other company. Michelle was sitting with Fred Bear and Spring Bonnie, talking a bit about the past. I might as well go see her, Danny said, surprising BB. What? What about your cake? Your presents? She asked, worried. It's not a party without all the guests, right? He asked BB. True, BB said, nodding. I'm going to go and get her. Though, it might take a while. Danny said, walking towards his office. He said hello to Bonnie, Foxy, and Mingle, who wish him a happy birthday, with a good luck from Mingle. Danny walks up to his office door and sighs. He opens it and steps in. Hello, Danny. He spotted Freddy sitting on his dress, crossing her legs as she leaned back on her hands. Charlie told me that you have a special gift for me. He said, closing it. Yes, it appears that we are becoming more human by the night. I say by next month our exoskeletons will be replaced with real bones. She said, smiling. Don't I still need to own the convention? Danny asked. No. Foxy is a pirate, after all. You don't need to own anything. Freddy said, making sure he could see her melons. Freddy. Danny sighs, he might as well get it over with. All right. What's my gift? Danny asked. Have a seat, Freddy said as Danny sat down in his chair. Freddy reaches her legs out and pulls the chair closer to her. She then wrapped his legs around his shoulder, bringing him closer to her lower area. Freddy. Danny said, blushing. Please, lick me. She said, looking lustful. Danny sighs. He looks and saw something he only saw on Spring Bonnie. Freddy pulls him closer and Danny decides to grant her wish. Freddy flinches, trying not to squeeze him. Oh. Keep eating. That feels good. She said, mm. Danny did so, even grabbing her waist to pull her closer. Freddy as she wishes she could get on. Finally, Danny pulled away, allowing him to breathe. Freddy hops off the desk before she quickly undid his pants and pulled out his long hard PP. FF Freddy. Danny said, blushing. Please. Just F me. She said, pushing his PP inside her. For a second, Danny thought he would feel the machinery inside her, thinking his PP could be teared up, didn't feel anything. Don't worry. You'll be fine. Freddy said before moving a bit. Danny was surprised to feel how good she felt and started to mm with her. Freddy then grabs his head and pushed him into her melons. She kept bouncing, a bit louder. However, she suddenly stopped and lets go of Danny. Danny panted, glad that she stopped. However, Freddy stood up, turns around, and sat on his lap, pushing his PP back in. She once again started bouncing, Please. Take your gift. Freddy said, glad that her friends were staying in the main lobby. Danny couldn't take it anymore. He grabs Freddy's peach and started to move her. Freddy louder, glad that he was finally getting into it. More. More. She said, louder. Danny moved faster, unable to stop. Finally, he couldn't hold back anymore and leaks inside her. Freddy as Danny shoots a few more shots into her. Both of them panted. Freddy was glad to finally have the one thing she wished for a long time. But until she became a full human, she couldn't have any kids with him. Freddy. Danny said, making the anime bear girl turn to him. This happened before. With the others, right? He asked. Yes. I'm sorry. But I wanted to do this once your birthday started. She said, not getting off. Danny sighs. He wasn't going to lie, this did feel great. Freddy then turned her head around to plant a huge kiss on the birthday boy's lips. She also causes him to leak again, making her Danny. Freddy. They broke the kiss, hearing Chica knocking on the door. I know you two are having fun, but we still got a birthday party to do. She said. Freddy sighs. Understand what Chica meant. She off of Danny, feeling his PP trying to stick to her. She was able to pull herself apart from it as some of the juices pour out of her. Here. She said, pulling out a few tissues and handing them to him. Freddy, Danny started. It's alright. It will be some time before I want to do it again. She said, clearing herself off. Go to your party. I'll join you shortly. She said, smiling. Danny sighs before finishing cleaning himself. He puts his PP back into his pants and zips it up before heading for the door. Freddy. He said, making the anime girl turn to him. Thanks for the gift. He said, walking out. Freddy smiles, glad to finally have a CC with him. And was glad to have the same balloon in her to keep her insides from messing up. That's one down. I hope he can handle the others. She said, smiling. Danny awoke the next morning, still trying to wrap his mind around the fact he just has SEC with an animatronic. He would be lying if he said he didn't enjoy it. Taking a deep breath, Danny got out of his bed and headed toward the bathroom. Today was his first day living here, and it seems that Charlie discovered that someone was paying him the wrong amount of money. Luckily, the same amount he got was enough to hold on to the house until he save up his paycheck again. The amount he was given was insane. $200 a day. I feel like you should be paid extra after everything that happened, Charlie told him when he asked. Danny wanted to argue, but he let it go. $200 might not sound like a lot, but there was no point in being picky. Make do with what you have, as Jazz would tell him. He still had a few more things to unpack and get ready for school. At least spring break was coming up, giving him a whole week to unpack. He hops in the shower and cleans his body. After that, he dries off, got dressed, and had his breakfast. After that, he got ready for school, knowing that he has to deal with Dash and Sam. This day is going to SCK, isn't it? He asked out loud. Casper, hi, 10 a.m. I stand corrected. Danny thought, sighing. You're still working there? Sam said, surprised. Yes. I actually like it there. Danny told her. Why? You can't be serious, Sam started. Sam. Stop. No many how much you wish it, I'm not quitting my job. He shouted. But, Sam started again. No buts. This is my choice. Get over it. Danny said. Then I'll just tell everyone they are alive. Sam said. Danny turns and glares at her, forcing Sam to step back. You know very well you can't do that, Sam. If this is about my feelings for you, then stop bothering. Danny said, surprising her. We tried. We denied it every time. Even when I started to wise up, you kept playing the same game. It hurt, Sam. Hearing you deny it each time. We were 14. We didn't understand our feelings at the time. And now here we are, seniors, and I just turned 18. I moved on, you should too. He told her. But, Sam tried to say. It's over, Sam. I'm not going to spend my life with a girl that has denied her feelings for 4 years. Danny said, sighing. But, Sam looks away, feeling upset. Danny notices and sighs. He has grown to like the girls. He doesn't know if he outright loves them, but he does care about them. Sam, you can't keep chasing someone that had decided to move on. If you care about my happiness at all, then you need to let go. Danny said. And what about my happiness? Sam asked. There's more than yours, Sam. Did you ever stop to think if I can't share my happiness with you, then maybe you're not the one for me? He asked. Sam looked heartbroken as Danny sighs again. Look, if we can't get clear with other feelings, then maybe we should stick as friends. He said. Friends? Sam asked, shocked. The bell then rings, cutting the talk short. Got to go, Sam. He said, not wanting to be late. Friends, Sam repeated. Anime convention, midnight. Danny was able to make it after dealing with Dash trying to bully him again. While he's a night guard at the convention, he was just a student in school. He notices the door was unlocked and wonders if Henry was a ghost coming back to haunt the place. Nah. Mom and Dad found no proof and Charlie said he was buried with her mother. I do hope Fred Bear is fitting in. Didn't get much of a chance to talk to her. He thought. Danny walks in spotting Freddy jumping towards him. Danny. She said, pulling him into a hug. Fr Eddie. Too tight. He gasps. Sorry, I can't stop thinking about yesterday night. It was so amazing. Now I get why Spring Bonnie likes it so much. Freddy said. Maybe so, but remember what we agreed on. Danny said. I didn't forget. Just having a bit of aftermath glow. She said. Fine, fine. I'm going to change into my outfit. No peeking. He said, making sure that BB also heard him. Freddy nodded as she steps away. Danny enters the locker room and changed into his night guard outfit. He exits the locker room, seeing BB shrugging against Marionette, making him sigh. Thanks. He said, seeing her nod. BB still shrugged, trying to talk. Danny enters his office and looks over the canvas. He hopes that night will go on as normal. 1 p.m. An hour later, and really need to learn to keep my thoughts in check. Danny exited the bathroom, sighing. Yesterday night suddenly replayed in his mind, making it hard for him to focus until he had to use the bathroom. Danny sighs. He knew what was happening. Since Freddy was more careful about it than Spring Bonnie, Danny could still feel the effect at last on him. He doesn't know if he could last through the night. But he had to try. He was broken from his thoughts when his stomach growled. Seriously? I could have sworn I ate before coming here. He said, sighing. Might as well. Chica does have some pizza waiting for me. He said, heading toward the kitchen. Danny made it to the kitchen and spotted Chica making pizza again. Hey, Chica. He said. Hello, Danny. How are you? She said, smiling. Hungry, for some reason, Danny said, sitting down. What do you mean? Chica asked, confused. I don't know. I thought I ate before coming in. He said. Chica looked sad, wondering if Danny was hungry for something else. But she wasn't going to do that against his will. She then places her pizza in the oven, not noticing Danny turning away. When she turned, Danny found himself looking at her peach. Not wanting to get off as prevent, he looks away. "So, do you want to talk about it?" Chica asked, facing him. "About what?" he asked. "About what's on your mind," she said. Danny blinks before sighing. "It's Sam," he said as Chica sat down. "What about her?" she asked. "Sam hasn't given up on me. Even though I move on. She seems to think that after 4 years of denying it, she thinks I still love her. I mean, I like Sam, but more as a friend. I don't know why she thinks I'm still going to be with her when we deny being together whenever someone said we are. I have outgrown that, but she keeps doing it," Danny told her. Chica started to think to herself, trying to understand what Danny was telling her. "It sounds like she doesn't want to lose you. She's been lying to herself for years and now you are moving away. She didn't think that you will choose to move and is trying everything she can to keep you in her sights, not fully understanding that she lost you already. It sounds like she doing everything she can to keep you in her grasp, even if that means doing things she would never do before," she said. "How did you?" Danny asked, surprised. "Well, I am a robot. We do pick up on things that help us be more human," Chica said, blushing. "Well, it's hand skill to have, but not even I think that there's all to humans," Danny said, confusing her. "Even to this day, humans are just as mysterious as any other creatures. Yes, we learn about our past, but there are still many things we don't know about ourselves. We are one of the biggest mysteries on Earth," Danny said. "You think so?" Chica asked. "Yeah, even when you and others become fully human, you still have learned about things we do even though we don't have all of the answers," Danny said. They heard the oven ding and Chica got up. She pulled pizza out and sets it on a rack, giving it a few minutes to cool off. However, she spotted Danny trying to look away, noticing he was hiding something. Chica smirks. She knew that Danny hasn't gotten over what Freddy did with him for his birthday, and it seems that she was stirring up the feelings he had. "Well, I did want to do this with him aware this time," she thought before taking off her gloves. She then walks over to Danny and sat on his lap, wrapping her arms around him. "See, Chica?" Danny asked, shocked. "I know we already did this, but I wanted to do it with your permission this time," she said, reaching behind her to remove her apron. Danny blushed when Chica took it off, showing her huge melons. He had forgotten that Chica had the biggest melons out of all the girls, and they were really close to his face. "See, Chica," he started, unable to stop his growing gner. Chica giggles, knowing what was happening. "Danny, do you want to have a CC with me?" she asked, smiling. Danny said, trying to look at her face. "You can stare. I don't mind," she said, seeing that Danny's hands were shaking. She understood why he was doing that. While she hasn't fully forgiven Tucker for his actions, she knew Danny didn't want to without the fear of getting hurt. "It's okay. You can touch them," she said, surprising him. Danny looks down, slowly reaching up. He didn't understand it. He just did this with Freddy yesterday night. Why is he so nervous all of a sudden? Seeing he was still struggling, Chica grabbed his hands and placed them on her melons. Danny was surprised. They were very soft and he could see his hands sink into them. He gave it a bit of squeeze but heard nothing from Chica. "You don't feel that?" he asked. "I'm sorry. After what your friend did, the feeling program for my chest was removed. It was to discourage any more guys from grabbing them. The others received the same thing," Chica said, sighing. She did hope she became human enough to feel someone touching her melons. Yes, she hated when Tucker did it, but she missed the feeling she would sometimes get. Taking a breath, she reached down and undid Danny's pants, freeing his hard PP. Wow! I've seen it before, but you are so big. No wonder Freddy was walking funny throughout the night. She said. Danny blushed again, still having a hard time believing he was nervous all of a sudden. Chica looks at him before pulling him into a kiss. It seemed to work. Danny started to relax as he played with her melons. While that was happening, Chica removed her panties and started to push his PP in. Danny was caught off guard and came in her, surprising Chica. Sorry. I was caught off guard. I didn't mean. Danny started before Chica placed a finger on his lips. It's okay. I know you are nervous. I won't move until you're ready. She said. Danny tried to take a breath, hoping it would calm his nerves. He did this for a few minutes before looking at Chica. Feel better? She asked. A bit. Let's start slow. He said, and Chica nodded. Danny slowly moved, feeling the same feeling he felt with Freddy. Chica a bit, getting used to the feeling she was getting. After a bit, Danny felt brave enough to move faster. Chica gasps in shock, surprised. However, she didn't stop him. She and hugs Danny close. Danny groans as she started to move even faster, causing Chica to try everything in her power from screaming. Finally, Danny pushed his PP as deep as he could, coming on his own this time. Chica jolted her head in the head, her tongue sticking out as a look of bliss appeared on her face. Danny panted as he came down from his high, still shooting a few more times. I needed that. Danny said, panting. Chica recovered a bit and kissed Danny again, surprising him. She broke the kiss and smiles. Thank you. She said, holding him close. Danny smiles and remains there. However, he couldn't stay there long. He turns to the clock and was surprised. Holy! It already 4 a.m. He shouted, making Chica look. What? But it felt like minutes. She said, knowing her pizza was now cold. Well, time flies as the saying goes. But I didn't think it will go that fast. Danny said. Chica sighs. She pulled her off of Danny, making him With a wet pop, Chica couldn't keep his juices in and it spilled on the floor. Sorry, Chica, Danny said, bashful. It's okay. I can clean it up. She said, walking toward the closet. Oh, and Danny? She said, stopping. Yeah. Danny said, putting his PP back in his pants after cleaning it. Thanks. She said, smiling and winking. Danny blushed before nodding. He got up and grabbed a slice of pizza. Once he walked out, Chica sighs. Your turn, Bonnie. She said. Casper hi, 1 p.m. Danny decided to tell someone about Henry, and he was able to meet up with Tucker, someone he knew he could trust. So, what's up, dude? He asked. Alright, Tuck. I discovered this after meeting Charlie. Something that even the girls didn't know. Danny said, making sure that no one could hear them. What is it? Tucker asked. I found out that Henry Emily has been dead for 10 years. He whispers. What? Tucker shouted before Danny slams his hand on his mouth. Tucker. Danny whispers angrily. Luckily, no one heard them. Look, I have tried to find out myself, but with school and doing my night job, I haven't found much. Danny said. Danny removes his hand and sighs. I want you to try and find anything about it. And keep this from Sam. He said. Okay. But then who? Tucker started. I don't know. Charlie agreed to let me stay since the girls like having company during the night. Danny said, still keeping the past 2 nights a secret. Alright. And just a little warning. Dash is thinking about getting back at you after he's done with his punishment. Tucker told him. Danny sighs. Even after getting caught breaking into the anime convention and getting in trouble with his parents, Dash still hasn't learned his lesson. Thanks for the warning. Danny sighs. At least, Dash can't try anyone for the rest of the week. Anime convention, midnight. Danny made it, seeing no sign of Henry. Did Henry finally move on after he meet his daughter? Danny sighs and opens the door. Hello, Danny. Bonnie. Hello. He said, seeing the blue anime bunny girl stepping up. Ready for your night shift? Bonnie asked. Yeah. Just need to change. Danny said. Bonnie nodded, biting her bottom lip. She knew that Freddy and Chica already had their time and Foxy decided to wait until the next night, meaning it was her turn. If she was being honest, she was really nervous. Bonnie? Are you okay? She looked up and blushed. Yes. Sorry. She said, looking away. Danny nods before patting her shoulder. I'm sorry we didn't get to talk as much during my shift here. Due to dealing with Freddy and BB most of the time, I haven't had much of a chance to talk with everyone else. Danny said. It's okay. We know that you have lots to do when we pop up. We're just trying to make your night more interesting. Bonnie said. However, Danny could tell that she was a bit sad that she couldn't spend as much time around him as Freddy, Chica, and BB does. Now that he thinks about it, he really needs to start hanging around the others a bit more. Tell you what. I'll spend my whole shift with you tonight. Make up for all the missed things you wanted to do. Danny said. Are you sure? Bonnie asked. Yeah. Though, I have a feeling that Freddy and BB are going to let me hang around you tonight. Danny said, thinking. Bonnie blinks. Did he already know what she wanted? Thinking about it, he's already done it with Freddy and Chica. Bonnie took a breath, hoping this wouldn't backfire on her. Danny? Can we, she tried to say. Can we what? Danny asked, waiting for her to finish. Oh, F me, Bonnie said before jumping on him. Danny was caught off guard and was knocked to the ground. He then looks at Bonnie's eyes and notices that she has the same look that Freddy and Chica did when they wanted to do something with him. Bonnie? Do you want to have a CC? He asked, a bit surprised. Yes, but I'm a little nervous. I'm not sure if you will agree to it, but I guess I'm acting like Spring Bonnie when she had that glitch. Bonnie said. Look, Bonnie, I'm not against it. After doing it with Freddy and Chica, I'm started to get that all of you wanted to have section. The then is, I won't do it without your permission or if you don't feel ready. Don't force yourself. Danny said. Bonnie smiles. She heard how nice Danny was to everyone and during the time she was around him, she could tell that Danny was a person that understands others' feelings and tries to help them. Bonnie liked that about him, like the others. Then, shall we? She asked. Danny sighs. At least, Bonnie is trying to be comfortable about it. He could tell she's still nervous. All right. Any idea where we so go? He said. How about your old office? Bonnie said. Sure. As far as I know, Charlie hasn't hired another guard. Danny said as Bonnie let him up. 3 nights, 3 girls. I already have a strong feeling that this week is going to be really different. Danny thought, following Bonnie. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 4. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Phantom Fan 21 on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video, till then goodbye.